Hi, folks, it's Thom. We're here to ask for your assistance. In the past, we've provided all of our videos free to the public, and we certainly hope to keep it that way. We're approaching 1,500 videos, and we are looking for ways to make our club more valuable to you. Soon, you will be able to access a database and sort through all of our videos by author, game master, and player, with links directly to YouTube. You'll also have links to the audio files on Spotify or iTunes. We're creating a gaming schedule for current and upcoming games for you to access. This reorganization is costing us a lot of time and effort. The only compensation that we get is from our Patreon site. For a few dollars a month, you can assist us to bring even more and diverse content. If you would like to help, go to patreon.com/intothedarkness. That's all one word. Just a few dollars is all we are asking. We love our patrons, and we would like to count you amongst them. Now back to the show. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Of This Men Shall Know Nothing. It was written by Paul Fricker. It's from Blasphemous Tome number 6, and I am the game master. This is version 3. But before we begin, we just started a small fundraising campaign. You saw it at the beginning of this video, and we received some great responses over the last week. This is the first time I've been able to mention it, so let's give them the recognition that they deserve. Andre Bubel, a longtime patron, has increased his pledge to $15 a month. Likewise, Gordon Lewis has joined the ranks of top contributors at $15 a month. In addition, we have Anthony Braddock Southgate increasing from $3 to $5 a month, and we have Anna Elizabeth and Dynatrope donating $3 a month each. And last but not least, Ilka, who is contributing $1 a month. Wow, your generosity is amazing. Thank you so much. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It's the early hours of Saturday, March 24th, 1945. The winds of war are blowing in a favorable direction for the Allies, and that direction is towards Berlin. There is a strong sense that victory is just over the horizon. Your group is part of Operation Varsity, a mission where 16,000 troops are being dropped behind enemy lines in Germany to secure passage over the Rhine River for the Allied invasion. There are thousands of aircraft currently making their way across northern France and over the German border. You are part of this operation. You're currently in a large military glider being towed by a conventional prop plane. When the time is right, you will detach and glide silently to your drop zone, land, and regroup with additional ground troops. You will then receive further orders. The gliders are quite large and capable. Despite their lightweight construction, they carry you and 12 other soldiers. Your rucksacks and equipment are stowed in the back. There are weapons and ammunitions, a jeep, and drums of fuel. You are, of course, not the only aircraft. As I said, you are part of a large group. The droning of the other planes permeates the thin canvas shell of your glider. What are you guys talking about?
Hey, how long till we drop? I don't think this thing's working.
Captain Edwards is up at the front, and he says, "Shouldn't be long now, boys."
That's good. I don't like riding on these unpowered machines.
I'm with you. Do we have parachutes in case something happens?
You don't.
Captain, are you sure there's no parachutes up there for us? I mean, this thing's pretty flimsy.
It's not much of a plane either. It's just canvas sides, but it's oddly pretty quiet, isn't it? Be better than
Don't worry
being in
about
one
it.
of those wooden boats, wooden air boats.
Still,
I'll be happy when I got my feet on the ground. That's where I like to be, is on the ground.
I can't stand it up here.
Suddenly off to your left, and at some distance, you hear the terrifying thud boom of anti-aircraft cannons, and the night lights up around you. The concussion blasts from the exploding shells rock the glider as flak starts shooting up from the ground. You can see some of the planes ahead of you taking damage, and suddenly one of them blooms like a fiery chrysanthemum in the sky. Some of the gliders are detaching from the planes and are attempting to sweep out of the light. Flak is redirected and they drop like wounded ducks. You're still a few miles from the drop zone when Captain Edwards barks the order to detach. There is a strange sensation as the glider dips down. It's then that all hell breaks loose. A huge boom just under the glider. Machine gun flak hits the ship. A high caliber round comes from below, striking the captain above his left buttock and shattering his spine. The pilot is hit too, but not so badly. The glass windscreen shatters. Equipment and munitions break loose and begin rolling down the aisle. Another blast, and part of the canopy is torn away, along with the face of the soldier sitting next to Corporal Cooper. The glider groans under the stress and begins dipping sharply to the right. The jeep breaks loose and slides forward, crushing two of the soldiers in the back. They scream as the wind is pressed out of their lungs. Sanity roll.
Ooh.
Okay, if you pass, take 1 point. If you fail, 1d4.
There's a failure.
Okay, 1d4 sanity loss. The Sergeant Willett screams, "Brace for impact." The ship dips alarmingly. You can see woods and low rolling hills below. The sun is still below the horizon, but the sky is turning red. It's like a bad dream. Everything moves in slow motion. Your eardrums ring from the explosions. Tree limbs rip through the body of the glider like razors. They rip through some of the soldiers, too. There is a sudden, overwhelming crunch, and the nose of the aircraft hits the ground. Everything is tossed forward. There is blood and splintered wood and metal and bayonets. The smell of fuel and smoke begins to rise and fill the cabin. Sergeant Willets has been speared through by a long piece of metal from somewhere, and the area behind the jeep bursts into flame. Do sanity rolls again.
That's a success.
fail.
Okay. Who failed? Okay. Those of you fail. As soon as everything stopped moving, you leap up from your seats and you head for the door, which is partly open because of the crash. Those of you who didn't fail, who passed, you can see when you get up that there are 3 other soldiers who are alive and trapped. It looks like everyone else has been damaged in some way. What do you want to do?
I'm going to move to see if I can pull him free.
Okay, you'll go for one of them.
Yes, one of them.
Yeah.
Kevin,
I got some delicate materials in my bag, so can I get it clear of the of the fire first before I help people?
do you want? Okay, you want to try to get your bag?
Yeah.
Okay. Ron and Jimmy and Clarence, you get to the door and push the door open. It's not that hard to do. It creaks, and you sort of dive out of the fuselage and into a ditch that's next to the airplane. You can see the damage. There's the whole back end of the airplane is on fire. You know that there are fuel canisters back there, but you hunker down for a moment while you're there. Jonathan, you go over to one of the soldiers. He is strapped in tightly, and you can see that his legs have been damaged. The soldier next to him has had most of his head split off by something hitting it, and gore is everywhere. You're going to try to get him out?
Yeah, one of them.
All right. Well, the living one.
The living one, yeah.
All right. Do a dex roll.
Okay. That is a failure by 3, so I'm going to go ahead and spend the 3 luck points to make that a success.
So as you are trying to get him untangled and pull him out, you can see streams of liquid fuel that are pouring from cans in the back and heading towards your position. They're already on fire, but you just managed to pull him free from the chair as the liquid fuel moves underneath the chair and starts flaming upwards. Kevin, do a luck roll.
Fast.
Okay. You don't know whose bag you grab, but you probably how well did you pass? Just a regular pass?
Yeah, regular, not by much.
We'll say do a 1D. Well, it's 1D2. Do a 1D6, but you're trying to get 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, 3, so that's low, right?
That's low. Okay. So you managed to get one of the rucksacks out. You don't know whose it is, but it seems like it's got stuff in it.
Yeah. I'll just chuck it clear and then go help Sweets.
You also see streams of liquid fire now moving down through the cab. Do you want to help anybody else? There are still 2 men trapped. And they're screaming. The fire is approaching them.
Well, does Sweets have it handled? If he looks fine, I'll go after
Sweets'
a second one.
the guy that Sweets has, his legs are crushed, so he's dragging him out.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll grab him on the shoulder and kind of help him go by, and then I'll try to grab one more.
Okay. Do a dex roll. See if you can detach him.
13. Let me see. How good is that? I got a hard. I can luck it down to an extreme if you want.
I will leave it at a hard. Both men are severely injured, but you manage to undo their harnesses and start to drag them out. One of them needs help. The other one can manage, but he's kind of in a bad way. They're both bleeding pretty badly. All right. As you guys get to the front of the fuselage, do a luck roll.
Everybody? Or just us?
Oh, just you two.
Oh, I failed that one.
Nice. I got a 10.
Okay. Jonathan and his guy, he pulls him out first, lands on the ground, and starts to move away. You see the others in the trench, maybe 15 feet away. But Kevin, just as you get to the doorway, there is an explosion. Boom! Like this right behind you. You let go of the 2 guys and you go flying out of the aircraft. Do 1d4 hit points of damage. So you hit the ground.
Taking 2.
Okay. The fuselage explodes. The fire goes everywhere. You see the Jeep sort of roll forward and out and crush itself on the ground. And you are now in that ditch. You are 5 men, 1 guy who has crushed legs, and we'll say one of those other guys managed to get out without being killed, but they are also bleeding profusely. What is your next move?
Well, I'm gonna try to assess these bleeding guys and see what I can do for them, if anything, as well as Kapow, see if I can help him as well. So I'm going to be really busy.
Okay. Do you want to do first aid on them?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do it collectively, just
Okay.
unless you get 000, then we'll.
I didn't pass though, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll say that the guy whose legs were crushed that you saved, he's not going to make it. He's going quickly downhill. The other two guys, they're going to be very slow to move. You can't really do anything for them, and they're bleeding badly. You don't know whether they'll make it either, but you can't. They're alive. You can't just leave them.
Okay.
How about the rest of you?
I'm just freaking out the whole time. What the hell are they sending us out here for? Just in these fucking floating death traps. This is the dumbest fucking plan I've ever heard of.
Come on, just gotta get away. Come on, before it explodes again. Come on, pulling them as I stumble away.
Yeah, every German in 50 miles is going to see that smoke plume.
That is true.
And we don't have any guns. Unless you pulled something out.
Sweet, I'm fine. I got a bag out. It's over there. There might be supplies.
Okay. I'll take a look at it. And I'll kind of get you guys to the side and I'll be like, these three, they're not in great shape.
Yeah. Everyone get out of here. The thing's going to blow. I'm just crawling away through the dirt.
What are we supposed to do about these dudes? Should we just leave them?
Well, one guy, he ain't going to make it. The other two are going to be real slow. So I don't know what you guys want to do for him. I mean, I guess we could give him some guns and rations.
Guys, come on. There was fuel spray, and any minute now that thing's going to go up.
I'm hearing this from the medic. I mean, we could take one of them if we run into any krauts. Let them go.
I mean, really, the best thing that actually could happen for him is they get picked up. I mean,
the fuel is burning, so there are huge black clouds of billowing smoke going up from the airplane. You are behind enemy lines out in the countryside.
Well, we need to get going.
Yeah, we got to get away from here and get some shelter.
Let's
Any of you boys a navigator? How far off course are we?
Do you have navigation? Does anybody have navigation? Okay. By the way the airplane is pointed, that you're going roughly southeast towards the French border or the German border, same border.
We've probably got at least a little while to where we're supposed to meet up with everybody. We can. I say let's pull them, get these two safe, like you said, Sweets. Give them some rations, and once we find the rest, we can send them back for them.
There are forests, stands of trees around, and you guys went through the trees where you crashed.
Maybe we should ask these two what they think about what they want to have done with them.
Are they conscious?
Yeah, and they're gritting their teeth and or crying and or screaming a little.
Sweet.
The guy with his legs crushed, he's passing out from shock.
I mean, medic, don't we have something to give him? Can't you shoot him up with something to knock him out?
I can. I mean, I've got some morphine in the bag. I can.
It's in the airplane.
Oh well, it's in the airplane. So, not really at this point, unless I can Can I go back?
I'll tell you what. So you've got the bag that Kevin managed to grab. Within reason, what do you want there to be in the bag?
If I could get like, I mean, I would imagine that as a medic, I would have a medical kit on myself.
A small. Well, you wouldn't have been necessarily carrying it while you were sitting in
Okay.
the airplane.
Yeah, but at least a small medic kit with standard.
So we'll say there's a
supplies.
small medical kit, not like a professional one, but the first aid kit. What else?
Yeah. Whose bag did I grab? I think that kind of determines.
It was just some random soldiers.
Mm.
I'm just gonna.
like
we're kind of breaking the
rations,
fourth
flares.
wall, and I'm just saying.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like a
Rations and
pistol,
flares,
maybe?
yeah.
Yeah, hopefully a handgun.
Probably
Okay,
some
there's a handgun,
maybe some additional ammunition.
some ammunition. Okay.
Radio?
No, I don't think a radio is
big.
that. Yeah, that would be like huge.
But I mean, if you had a rifle or a
Compass?
compass, okay.
A rifle would be great, but that I don't think that's going to fit in a strap
Bag,
to it,
yeah.
maybe. But
Maybe there's something that fell out of the airplane when it crashed.
cool.
Can look around.
I'll do that. I'll search around for a rifle.
Tell you what, guys, do luck rolls. See what you
Everyone?
find. Yeah, why not? You guys are there. There's debris everywhere.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm staying back in the mud and warning everyone. That's some
None
unstable
of
stuff. Don't
none
poke
of
around
you
too
got
much.
anything?
I got 75 luck. I rolled an
I'll-
88.
I'll tell you what, then. You guys find at least one rifle.
Woo!
Military rifle. So you got a pistol and a rifle, safety kit, and compass.
Right. Who's taking them? I'm pretty good with a handgun.
I'm shit with a handgun. I'll take a rifle.
Yeah. You guys go with that?
That's fine.
I play a lot of baseball, but I don't think we have a baseball bat here.
You want a stick?
It's better than nothing.
You can have a stick. There's probably sticks around. Okay. So go ahead.
So are we just going to drag these guys into the forest and know where we are as best we can and come back? I mean, I don't see any other way, because if we stay here, like you said, there's the Germans are going to be here probably any minute. We're sitting ducks.
Yeah.
If these guys
I
fall
don't think
into the
there's any
German,
coming back.
if they fall into the German hands, I don't know how long they're gonna make it.
Look, I say we just move. If they can't keep up, fuck them.
Let's get them
gotta
somewhere
keep
safe
going.
and then go.
All right.
I'm just gonna start walking off.
So you're gonna stash them somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drag them to the trees.
Okay. And then you're going to join Clarence.
Yep.
So the countryside of Germany is actually kind of pretty. It's early morning. The sun is just peeking barely over the horizon. The sky is very red. You can, looking up at the sky, you can see the remnants of fire, trails of other airplanes going down around you. You can hear anti-aircraft and guns way off in the distance now. And you're heading basically southeast towards where you don't know what, but that's the direction that you want to be going. Everybody do spot hidden.
Critical
Or good.
extreme. I mean,
Okay.
Hard.
So Ron, you notice it first, and then Jimmy. There seems to be another downed plane. Now you're on the edge of what looks like a large farm, maybe. You can see in the distance there are some buildings, but you can't really make that out. But there is another downed airplane right on the edge of the farm, a little bit into one of their fields. It's not smoking though, and it looks more like a fighter jet or fighter prop plane.
Hey, it's pointed out, that over there, the fighter plane, that they may have some more supplies. It doesn't look like it's as badly damaged as ours was.
Yeah, they might have some comms built into that.
Yeah, and we could at least figure out where everybody else is, and if the pilot's still there, he may have something to help us out. How close to the farmhouse again? You said
It's across. It's across a large field.
Okay.
And there are sporadic trees. Usually trees in a line that sort of divides the fields. You can see that. And the plane itself is maybe 50 or 60 feet away from the tree line in the middle of not in the middle of the field, right on the edge of the field. It's a big field. So you're going to head over there?
Yeah, I think Ron is going to suggest, sticking to as much cover as we can as we go. But
okay.
Yeah.
You approach it very carefully, trying to keep your cover. You're probably all in camis, so kind of blend with the landscape a bit. You get close to it and you realize that it's not recent. It must have fallen a week ago, something like that, for another operation of some sort that was going on. It crashed rather badly, but it doesn't crash bad enough that you don't think that the pilot would have survived. There's too much damage to the airplane to get it back up into the air. But it doesn't look like the fuselage has been crushed or anything like that. Do you guys climb up and take a look? It's the kind you have to kind of climb up to look inside.
I'm gonna stand watch and keep watch on these other guys that are going to investigate the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you climb up and you see the fuselage. It is empty. There's not a body in there. There is a quantity of blood, though. You can see that there were some holes in the glass. If it's actually, I don't know if it's glass or plastic back then, but so he was probably shot, but you don't think, there doesn't look like there's not blood and gore splattered everywhere. Looks like maybe a bullet hit the side and maybe got his leg or something like that. But it wouldn't have killed him. And there is some blood on the ladder and on the place where the cockpit opens. But he's not there.
What are you seeing up there, Ferret? Anything we can use?
Is there anything useful in the cockpit?
Not that you can see.
No, but it looks like the pilot, he was shot. You kind of I point out the blood trail coming down the ladder. Which direction can we tell which direction the blood trail heads off to?
It looks like he got down to the bottom of the ladder, and there's a bit of a pool of blood there. And then suddenly it's gone. Like either maybe he staunched the blood and walked off, or somebody caught him.
Well, he went somewhere. My guess is the closest place here is either back into the woods or towards that farmhouse.
Yeah, maybe the farmers are sympathizers, or maybe they turned him in. So,
yeah, we're on Krautland, right? That's probably not going to be too friendly.
Well, we're in France.
Are we?
Right?
No, you're in Germany.
Oh,
so we're France.
Yeah, maybe not friendly then.
So if it's just some commoners, we could take it. It'd be nice to huddle up in a house, but I don't know if we want to get involved with that.
Well, they probably have more guns.
Do any of you guys speak German?
A little bit.
So
You can see from here across the field, there's definitely a small, there's a stand of trees. It looks like on the other side there's a farmhouse and a barn and maybe a little village. It's a little hilly right where you are. You can do a spot hidden for me from way over here.
Regular.
You think there might be a stream or a creek also in between you and the village farmhouse, whatever. You're still too far away to see. And there are lines of trees that'll get you closer.
Look, I mean, I don't know what you all think, but to throw, my thoughts into it, there's enough between us and that farmhouse and whatever the village or whatever is beyond it. We can at least get closer to see if we see any sign that the pilot's there, or how many people are there. Like you said, if it's only a couple, we could probably take them if we need to, or we can just move on from there. We can at least see.
Oh, we're looking for the Rhine, right? That's not what we're seeing here.
No, the Rhine's
I think we
huge.
need to. I think we need to regroup with the main force.
Yeah, we're not walking back to England.
Well, that's the thing too. They may have a car. If we can get that car, we can get there a lot faster, and it's going to be a little less suspicious with us driving in a car as opposed to 5 guys in army fatigues. We can also get a change of clothes.
Let's do it. Let's go take on the farmers, commandeer what they got.
Okay. So you work your way through this field, being careful. This is March. There's probably some green wheat. I don't know what they'd be growing, but let's say green wheat that's, about yay high. It's still got a long ways to go before it gets ripe, but there's enough cover that you can sort of sneak closer. So it's all little hillocks. So you're kind of cresting over the top of a hillock, and you can see directly below you, and we're talking 30 feet, not straight down, but down the slope. There is, in fact, a creek. It's maybe 7 feet across, but it's got a lot of snow melt from the winter, so it's moving pretty fast. It also is making a very pleasant watery noise that kind of, it's almost a white noise that drowns out noises. And you're looking directly towards the farmhouse, the village, the barn. It looks like what do you call it? Like a horse, not a horse barn, but a half barn where there's walls and there's a back and a roof, but the front end of it is open, And sticking out of that is a tank.
Boys, I think we found our ride.
Going to be a little conspicuous, isn't it?
So you are here, and you are looking this direction.
And we can tell it's a German tank.
It's a Panzer IV. And as you are looking, everybody do a spot hidden.
Regular.
Yeah.
So as you're looking,
Extreme.
oh, okay, cool. As you're looking, you see movement. There is somebody who comes from around behind the tank, then steps out from the barn, or from the, what we call it, half barn. There is a larger barn behind it. He steps out. He's wearing a German uniform. You're not sure what rank he would be, but he looks pretty dirty, like he's been working on the tank. He comes out and he's carrying a bucket. He walks around the side of the half barn. Actually, in your direction, he walks on your side of so you can see him. There is a small stand of trees, if you noticed in the picture, that obscures your vision for a moment. And then you can see him again going into the larger barn in the back with the bucket in his hand. And he goes in there. Clarence, did you get the extreme?
I got an
No.
extreme.
Oh, you did. Jimmy got the extreme. Jimmy, you see that at first, and then something else catches your eye. You can see in the little village right nearby another movement, and it looks like a girl. The girl looks like she's maybe, well, let's see, how old does she look? She looks like she's at late teens, maybe middle teens. She quickly runs from one of the houses in the village and runs over behind the well that's right in the center of the town. And she hunkers down behind it, and you can see her peeking over the top of it, looking in the direction of the tank, like she's spying on it. Do you guys want
Hey, you see that girl over there?
I just see the soldier.
If he points it out, you can see her.
Hmm. It's weird. What's a tank doing in a farmhouse? Is this just where the troops are staying? Is this the position they've taken up?
I mean, they could have been brought here because of the plane.
Yeah,
Might be
this.
broke down as well. He's working on it. It looks like he's working on it.
Yeah,
Good point.
or this might be where they have those anti-air guns or something. If we flew over this
Yeah.
on the way in.
Hmm.
Um, the whole scene right now seems very quiet. You see the girl peek around, and uh, she looks very furtive. She's trying to keep hidden. After a few minutes, you see her run back towards a cottage and go inside, back in the village. After a few more minutes, you see the guy with the bucket come out of the barn. He seems to be walking rather nonchalantly, concerned with very little, but holding on to that bucket. He goes straight back around the corner and to the tank. You see him set down the bucket and lean over the side of the tank and open up like there's a hatch, like he's repairing the tank. Now, if you look on the map, you guys are still across the river, and you can approach if you go to that little stand of trees that's next to the half barn where the tank is without being seen. What do you want to do?
Well,
I think now might be our chance to take him out.
are we doing this
Yeah.
quietly or?
Yeah, we could probably get it there, pretty quietly.
Just give you one more thing. Do everybody do a knowledge roll because you guys are in the military.
I think I fumbled 97.
Extreme.
Extreme, excellent. You probably know. Well, you know then just from general knowledge, Panzer IV tank takes 5 crew.
There's
Yeah.
5 of them.
Yeah, where's the other 4? Do you think they're hanging out in the farmhouse?
God.
Or that barn.
Yeah, any of the houses.
Regardless, though, if we take one out, then then it's going to be 5 against 4.
Yeah.
Well, it's at least 5. That might not be the only tank.
That's true.
And also, this guy might have his weapon laying around. There might be some more weapons laying around the tank, so that would be to our advantage.
Yeah.
Do you?
We do it quietly, though. I think this is a
Yeah.
good opportunity.
Quiet and quick. Let's go get him with his pants down.
All right.
So how are you going to tell me what your tactic will be?
I've got a rifle. I don't know if y'all want me to stay in the back and provide a firing support, like take somebody out if they come out of the building, or if you want me up front with you. I prefer to be farther away, but
Yeah, I think we should keep you back. Let you get a beat on us to cover, but stay as
Okay.
quiet as we can. Don't fire any shots if we don't have to.
I think the rest of us can sneak up to those trees, and then because he's like you said, he's kind of like repairing the tank. His back is to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Zero, you still probably want to get up to the trees, right? Just stay in
yeah,
them.
get a better shot if I can get to the trees closer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's all cross together and then split off at the trees.
Okay. Why don't you guys try to do a stealth roll with a bonus?
Oh, I need that bonus.
Nice.
Pass.
I got
a
an
regular?
extreme.
Regular.
Wow.
I am quiet.
Yeah, I got a hard.
Okay. So you guys cross the stream. Fortunately, it makes a lot of noise itself. So your crossing doesn't really make much noise. Your pants, though, are wet now, and your shoes are wet. You sneak up, you jump over that little tiny fence that's sort of separating one area of a farm from another, and you come up behind the trees. Everyone do a spot hidden roll as you get up to those trees.
I got a hard success.
I'm gonna spend 7 luck to pass.
Okay, you don't need to. Just
Okay.
Somebody got a hard. How'd you do? How did everybody do? Fail. Okay. But Jimmy, you got a hard.
No, I got hard.
Oh,
Yeah, Jonathan got a
you
hard.
got the hard. All right. So Jonathan, you guys sneak up to these trees. You guys are, of course, concentrating on the tank and the barn and what's going on. But Jonathan, as you come up to the tree in front of you, and you sort of, the trees are, of course, not in a perfect line. They're a little staggered. Jonathan, you look over at the tree just to your right. There's a German soldier sitting with his back to the tree. Right there. It looks like he's taking a nap.
Okay. I will.
What?
Some of you can't see it because like you're either on the other side of the tree that he's on.
Yeah. I will. My intention is to signal that there is a soldier.
And then what?
What is my approximate distance from him?
5 feet. If he were to turn his head and look like that, he'd see you. At the moment, his head's turned the other way.
Jeez.
You can't see all of it. You can't see his face, but you can see enough.
Okay. If I kind of watch him just for a little bit, do I see that he's still breathing?
He's not breathing.
Okay. I will creep over to his position and try to
All right.
lift up his head.
All right. You kind of hunker down. You move forward, and just as you start to get a good look, you realize he's got a big hole in his head, and there's blood splattered, or dried blood splattered on the tree. And I need you to do a sanity roll because of you know what.
Okay. That is a pass.
I still think you should do 1d4.
Okay. 3.
Okay. You suddenly fall backwards. You're shaking violently. The others, you see him, he's turned white. His eyes are wide open and he is absolutely fucking terrified. And he seems like he's ready to yell out loud, but he's trying very hard not to yell. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to jump on him and cover his face.
Yeah, he's freaked out. And you see that this German soldier that's there has either been shot in the head or blown his own brains out.
As Clarence does this, I'm going to look at the other, or watch the other German soldier at the tank to see if he hears any of this, or
he hasn't heard anything.
Is there a gun around?
You don't find a gun.
Check the tree behind him. Is there any damage to the tree?
It looks like the damage is all to him. Maybe there's some chips of bark that have flown off as the bullet went through.
Yeah, sweet. Let's get it together. Why are you freaking out so much? What's wrong?
I don't know. It just put me off.
Well,
really bad. I wasn't expecting that.
Keep it together. We need to go get this other one.
Okay.
You stay back here.
Okay. If you want to examine the guy?
I'll examine him.
Do a spot hidden.
No.
Okay. You don't know what rank he is or what he would have done. You don't find any identification. That might just be because you didn't find his identification.
Yeah.
All right. So as you are sitting there, or as you are in great tenseness, you do notice that the soldier who is working on the tank, he suddenly he's been going back and forth between that bucket and working on the tank. At this point, you can hear the bucket sort of make a clanky noise as he reaches down and picks it up again. And he does something rather odd. You guys are all being very careful behind the tree. It looks like he dumps something from the bucket into the engine. And then he does this, and he starts to walk back into the barn. So he's walking for a moment towards you, and then sideways in front of you, and into the barn. And once again, he seems whistly and nonchalant. He seems to be humming a little tune as he's doing whatever he's doing. But for a moment now, he's in the barn.
Quick, let's go over by the tank. That way we can grab him when he comes back in.
Yeah.
There's only 4 of them.
You mean 4 more?
No, well, 5 minus this dead guy.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
All right. So once again, now do a stealth roll.
I failed that one.
Failed.
Yep. I got a hard success.
You creepily run forward. There's, of course, not really any cover here. Those of you who passed, you climb past that little tiny wall that's sort of jutting out of the barn in front of the tank and onto the other side. The others, there may be a couple of pieces of like sheet metal that have been thrown over to the side. And when you hit them, your boots make a clank, clank, clank noise. You hear in the barn behind, you hear the sound of that bucket. And what do you want to do? You think that guy's just about to walk out the door, and you know that you're going to get seen.
Bash him in the face with my stick.
Yeah, I'll rush him up too.
Which of you has the higher dex? What's your dexes?
My dex is 70.
55.
All right. So, Jimmy, you get the drop on him. As he comes out, what he does is he's got that bucket in his hand, and he comes to the open door of the barn and suddenly looks in your direction. And for a moment, it's as if he blinks like he can't believe that he's seeing somebody there. But then immediately he drops the bucket and reaches for a sidearm. You're going to run up and bash him in the face?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and do a brawl.
Yeah, 17. So that's hard.
Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to roll to see if I counter. Where did my dice go? Hidden my dice. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I failed. All right, so you run right up and bash him in the face. And he goes flying backwards and lands on the ground. But he's not knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
So he's struggling and he's trying to get to his sidearm. Kevin, what do you want to do?
Can I go step on his hand so
Sure.
he can't grab his gun? Yeah.
You run forward, do a brawl.
Okay. 32 is I'll luck it down to a hard if I need to.
Okay, no, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you get it. You step onto his hand. You realize he's about to yell. You also notice that he has a big old knife, a German knife on his side, on his belt, which is easily within your reach. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Jimmy? It's your turn again. What do the rest of you want to do?
I am just waiting in the tree line, scoping out with
In
that
case.
rifle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Ron and Jonathan, you've snuck into where the tank is?
Yeah, I've moved into the tank. Or
Yeah, same.
position at the tank.
Okay. I would like the two of you. Are you guys looking out towards the others, or are you looking around the half barn where the tank is?
At this moment, I'm kind of keeping a watch on what's going on to see if I need to run and make assistance.
Yeah, I think I'd be looking in that little barn area to make sure that there's nobody popping out of that tank.
Okay. Ron, do a spot hidden for him.
Hard.
Okay, I'll get back to you in a moment.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, what do you want to do? You've got this guy on the ground. He's about to yell. You've still got your rifle.
I'm going to drop the stick and grab his big SS knife and stab him in the throat with it.
Okay, do a brawl.
Yikes. It's brutal for a first combat. Oh, 27. It's a pass.
I got an 85. So you put your hand over his mouth, jam the knife down into his throat. He spits blood up. Blood goes all over your hands. And you notice something. I mean, he was trying to grab for his sidearm, but his hands also have blood all over them. Some of it's dried. He's still kicking a little as Kevin's holding him down. But you notice that he's filthy. And what you might have thought was oil isn't oil at all. It's blood stains, like he was in a slaughterhouse. And Ron, as you're looking around the tank, you notice the engine flap is up, and as you walk past it, there's all kinds of blood and gore and viscera all over in the engine. And that's when you realize that it looks like he was trying to repair the engine with body parts.
Oh,
And so you can do a sanity roll. Jonathan, you're lucky you're looking in the other direction.
yes.
Clarence, you see them subdue the guy. Everything looks clear for a moment if you want to approach, but then you see, Kevin and Jimmy sort of standing up over the body. Kevin and Jimmy, you start to realize that there is a god-awful smell coming from the barn a few feet away from you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, good work, Jimmy. You were quick on that. Let's carry him around to the tank, meet up with the others.
Hey, before we do that, can you check his sidearm to see if there's any, if it's full or if one's missing, for that other guy?
Yeah, sure.
His sidearm is loaded.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think that was maybe a day ago or something.
You guys also do a spot hidden while you're doing that.
Fail.
So again. Yeah, fail.
Okay. So you're going to drag the guy back to the back to where they are?
Since there's like scraps of metal that's being noisy, I kind of think that we should each grab one end and carry him in.
Okay. So you pick him up. He's limp in your arms. He's covered in blood. He's obviously an officer of some sort, or he's a tank person. Jonathan, you see them bringing him towards you, and you hear Ron behind you go, Jesus fucking Christ.
What is it?
I come here and look at this. The guy was putting body parts in here and blood. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
Jonathan, if you look, you can do a sanity roll.
Yeah. 99.
Ooh. 1d4. All right, you guys pull the body around the front. Clarence, what do you want to do? You see they've sort of got things under control, you'd guess, from where you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly move up while I'm keeping my rifle trained on are there windows and stuff in the house or the closest structure?
Yeah.
Just kind of looking through the windows of all the nearby structures.
There are, from where you are, maybe 6 windows in the farmhouse on the second floor that could look in your general direction. You don't see any movement up there. There are even more village or houses that might have windows that could see you from there.
Okay.
But once again, you don't see any movement.
Yeah, I'll move up to join them, see what's going on.
Okay. So as you move up to join them, you join Kevin and Jimmy as they round the corner, and you see Ron and Jonathan holding each other in terror as they've looked at the tank. They also look pale at this point.
I'll just save you Just save you. Don't look at the engine. The guy was trying to repair this thing with body parts.
In fact, I'll close the engine lid or whatever hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, his hands are covered in blood. Something god awful is in that barn. It smells nasty.
What the hell is going on here?
I don't know. I didn't see anybody else in any of the windows. I think we're clear around here.
But wait, we didn't check the tank.
No, I could.
I'm
I'll
not sure
check
I
the
want
tank.
to. Okay. That's all you.
Yeah, I think you never know. I'll climb up on the tank and open it up and check on the inside.
Oh, you climb up and you look inside. For the most part, it seems to be intact. Um, we'll say you've been in a tank before. You've seen what it looks like. The only thing that might on the outskirts be useful is there is a large machine gun that is part of the tank. It could be detached from the tank and taken, but it's a two-man haul. It's a big, heavy thing.
Okay. As far as looking on the inside of the tank, does it look like it's damaged in any way?
Not really.
But it's pretty much empty as far
It's
as
empty. There's
yeah.
nobody in there.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing in the tank. It's clear.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we gotta check on that smell. Maybe it's more of the Krauts. I don't know. We
Who wants
found
to
one
take-
dead one just sitting there.
You guys said that there's body parts in that engine flap. What if that's some kind of like butcher house?
Like a people butcher house?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Like-
Yeah.
I don't know. But if that is going on here, I mean, I'm not sure we want to stay or I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the Germans are fucking monsters. I've heard nothing but horror stories.
What was with the girl too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna peek around the corner back towards the well. Is anybody there at the well?
So the barn, the half barn where the tank is, really has kind of three divisions in it. From this division, this is the one on the one side. From this division, you can't really see the well, but if you cross the other two divisions and you look over that wall, you should be able to see the well.
Okay. I'll move along carefully.
Okay. You get to the third division, and as you're about to cross it, you look over, and in the back of the barn, there is another German soldier. This one is sitting in the corner, and he has a couple of bottles of alcohol next to him. He has vomit on the front of his uniform, and he is definitely asleep.
Okay. I'll look back to the others and I'll wave you guys my direction.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll follow towards him.
We take him out or question him.
I think if we can, we should probably talk to this guy.
Tie his ass up.
Can I take the pistol as well from the dead guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
With the knife in the
Well, what if
Well, I could give it to
if we wake him up, he might scream. Like, as much as I want to question him, it's not like we're really in a safe spot to have him be talking.
Yeah, I'll just I'm gonna like tear a piece of my sleeve off. So just shove this in his mouth.
All right.
I'll just grab him by his face and like really fast open his mouth and shove the cloth into it.
Okay.
Yeah, gag him.
You do that. His eyes suddenly open. They are quite bloodshot. Um, he his first reaction is kind of angry, like for a moment he might think you're just one of the other soldiers of his people, his group. And he sort of struggles like this when you're doing it. You can hear him cursing in German. Not sure what he's saying. But then when he sees that it's not one of his people, he just presses himself up against the wall, and you can see him immediately trying to reach for a sidearm or what he might have. What do you do?
I'll grab one arm.
I'll
I'll-
grab the other.
Okay. He is going to attempt to spit out that rag that you put in his mouth and yell.
Can I just hold my hand over his mouth?
Yeah, you can try that. He's going to bite you.
Okay.
You can do a dodge roll.
All right. I failed.
He clamps down on your hand. You can do we'll say we'll do a sand roll to see if you yell.
I failed that too.
Okay. You take 1 point of sand damage as he clamps down on it, and you fight not to yell as he's biting. What are the rest of you going to do?
If I can, I'll try to kick him in the stomach.
Okay, go ahead and brawl. He's pretty much helpless. You can probably do anything you want.
Just threaten him with your gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna point the pistol at him and say, "Shut." Shh.
Okay.
So I just got 30 in German. Yeah, I'd like to tell him like cooperate or die.
Okay. Do a persuade roll.
All right. Don't have any of that. Let's see. Nope, 96.
Intimidate. You can do intimidate too.
Nah, I didn't take
No.
any social skills. I got a 96.
Okay. He just looks vicious and angry and starts shaking his head side to side. Clarence,
Fuck it, Jimmy, stab him.
You've taken at least 1 hit point of damage at this
Okay.
point.
And I'm kind of yelling out a little, not at the top of my lungs,
Yeah.
but I'm getting pretty loud.
Like, get him the
You
fuck
son
off
of a
me.
bitch, get
Yeah.
the fuck off my lawn! And
Right.
I'll hold the I'll just take my rifle and I'll just like jab it up into his ribs.
Okay, you've only got one hand.
That's true. I'm gonna do it one-handed, just not very well. I'm
All right,
just gonna grab it.
go ahead and brawl. What are the rest of you gonna do?
I'm just trying to hold him as best I can.
Yeah, holding tight to his arm, telling Jimmy to stab him.
I'm gonna pick up one of the bottles and break it over his head.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
do a brawl.
I passed my brawl roll, by the way.
I failed
Okay.
that.
So, Clarence, you managed to probably bash him in the nuts with your with the end of your thing. Jonathan, you bring the bottle down onto his head, and the bottle shatters over his head, but it doesn't knock him out. Now he's bleeding from the top of his head. And you guys are making some noise. Trying not to, but you are. Next move. He's going to try and get loose. I'm going to. He got an 88. He didn't get loose. So we can continue. Kevin, what did you? Actually, it's
The
Jimmy
fucking
first.
drunk, unconscious guys beating us. Come on, guys.
Oh, I might just shoot his head off.
Gonna shoot a gun.
Oh, it's not a good idea, but I mean, just I think that's what my character would do. So yeah, I'm gonna
Got
shoot
the
him.
German guy's knife.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I'll stab him then. I'll stab him in like the neck or something. Try to make it quick.
Another neck grab. Go ahead and do a brawl.
Oh, yeah, my shooting is not that good. I probably should have stabbed him. I could spend luck to make. I'll spend it to make it a regular.
Okay. So you run your knife across his throat and slice his throat. I think you should all.
I'm not feeling too good about that.
I think you all should do maybe some sanity rolls. Your hearts are racing. Your adrenaline is through the roof.
Passed every sanity so far.
Okay.
Failure.
If you passed, you're kind of hardened. You're cutting people's throats is what you guys do. If you fail, take 1d3 of sanity, because it's pretty horrible to stand over somebody and have them look you in the eyes as you cut their throats and their blood spurts out all over the place.
Yeah.
3.
All right.
That could have gone better.
Yeah, when he stops squirming, I'll throw him on the floor. Just, for fuck's sake, guys, that was sloppy.
God damn it.
Jonathan.
Did he hit? Oh, sorry.
Jonathan, as you continue, you went over to the edge of the barn to look out towards the farmhouse. So the barn, at this point, the barn is directly to your right. It's the other end of the barn from where the guy was going in and out. And then directly, kind of southeast, you can see the farmhouse and the well beyond it and the other buildings. You don't see any movement. You don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But you don't see any people in the village either.
Okay. And I'll turn back to the group and I'll say, it doesn't look like there's any movement out there.
What time of day is it again?
It's early morning. So now the sun has come up. We'll say it's like 7 a.m. You got here just before the sun came up. So the sun is still very low in the sky.
Did he actually have a sidearm?
Yes, he also had a sidearm and probably a knife also.
I'm gonna grab the sidearm unless anybody else really wants it.
Take it. Yeah, something weird's going on here, guys. All the blood and gore. I tried to talk to him. He just growled like an animal.
Well, those fucking cops know how to do.
Yeah, I think he was just drunk.
Maybe.
Well, sweets. Is there anything going on in the rest of the houses?
Everything's quiet.
Really
Everything's quiet. I mean, you would figure somebody would be up this early.
Well, we saw the girls.
I mean, other people besides her, too.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty quiet for a town.
Yeah.
Village.
And
no animals in the stable as well. I guess they're using it for the tank, so.
All of the parts that you saw in the tank are human parts.
They might have come from the 2 remainder crew members or maybe the American pilot.
That's what I was worried about. They might have just occupied this place. There might not be any civilians.
you said it was March, wasn't it?
Correct.
Looking out at the farmhouse and the other cottages, do I see any smoke from chimneys?
No.
That's odd.
Yeah. Well, I think we either need to go check out that barn or go find the little girl. I'm not sure which.
Or we can just go in the farmhouse. That's the closest. Like, is that the closest? Like, big building other than the barn to us?
That is correct.
I feel like that kind of puts the barn at our backs. I'd feel safer clearing it first.
Also, the girl didn't go into the farmhouse. The girl went
Right.
into another cottage in the village.
Right.
Should we go after? I mean,
I-
yeah, we should clear our immediate surroundings first, I feel.
Yeah, I
All right.
agree with that.
Good point.
Yeah. And I
So-
I like having you at my back, Zero, so just keep some space, watch over us.
Yeah, I think if I can get into the upper stories in the barn, it might be a good crow's nest.
Would it
Cool.
make sense? Do you think that it would be better for us to grab that machine gun off the tank and have you have it up there as opposed to your rifle?
That's not a bad idea.
That sounds like a great plan. Would I be able to operate it by myself though?
Probably not. It's a big, gigantic thing.
Yeah.
You'd have to
We'd have to like mount it down. If we had time, like if
Oh.
we're gonna stay here, we could try to rig something.
I don't think
Or-
we're trying to start a new quiet life in the small German village.
I could
all
stay.
you really have to do is lean it up against something. It doesn't actually have legs of its own.
I could stay back with you and feed it. I'll give the pistol to Sweets.
Okay.
Somebody want to take the rifle?
We'll keep
Oh,
it
yeah.
for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let's
Yeah, I
get
mean,
up there
we-
first.
We got to clear the place before we carry equipment in, right?
That's true.
So you're all going to go around to the barn? Right. So you go back past the tank, you go around the corner where you came up to the place. You head towards the barn. You can still see the trail of blood from the fellow that you killed. Do a spot hidden, guys, as you going back.
Yeah.
Regular.
Hard.
Okay. Those of you who passed, as you're walking back, you see the bucket. And you realize that there are body parts in the bucket. One of them looks like a little kid's arm.
Oh,
And Jimmy, you got a hard?
Yeah.
You also notice an odd glint of metal right on the edge of the bucket where it sort of spilled. Looks like dog tags.
Like American or like the
You
circle
can't see from
German?
here. It's
Okay.
oh
I'll go.
well, if there's a difference in shape, then they're shaped like American dog tags.
Okay. I'll go pick him up with the knife. I'll sort of like get him, scoop him. Powell, Charles T, serial number 373-57567, T42, 43, O positive, blood type, Hebrew. Probably did not have a fun time. I mean, clearly he's in a bucket, so. But he wasn't a child. I guess there's some more fun we've yet to discover.
Do you
Jimmy,
think
what are
they
you doing back there?
say that again.
do you think
I
they
mean,
killed everybody in the town?
So you're going to continue?
Possible.
Okay. You move forward towards the barn. The smell is definitely coming from the barn. You walk through the door and you look up, and there is a pile, maybe 15 feet high, of dead bodies. They are all, most of them are dressed, looks just like regular German clothing. There's old women, old men, young people, and children. And all of the ones in the front of the pile have been chopped into pieces, and body parts have been removed, and everything else like that. You can all do sanity rolls.
95.
Passed for once.
Passed. No, 93.
If you failed, do a sanity roll. 1d4 if you failed. Oh, take 1 point if you passed. This is an atrocity
Mm-hmm.
And you said this was inside the barn.
inside the barn.
Fucking sickos. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Gun out. I just want to do all the corners, make sure there aren't any troops.
Okay. Do a spot hidden for me.
I failed.
Okay. So as you are looking around to make sure that there are no troops, you trip over something. It's sort of half buried in the straw, because there's straw in the barn. But you trip over it. You might not hit the ground very hard, but you definitely lose your footing, go down. Something you walked across in the straw. You guys all see
Another body.
You all right?
You,
Okay, there.
Yeah,
There's
look.
some shit on the ground. Yeah, I'll move it up the straw away.
you move the straw away, and what you see is the shoes and pants of their military, American military. You think it might be Charles. There's something that they look when you look at them, they seem to be pilot's pants. So you think this might be the pilot. The rest of him, the torso and the arms, they've done something to this guy. He has, as if somebody took a penknife and carved strange letters and symbols into his flesh, into his skin. Little, they almost look like Russian or maybe some other language. You're not quite sure. Very strange. And the worst part is that his head is gone. He's had his head cut off. You can do sanity rolls again. You're going to lose a lot of sanity.
What the fuck is going on?
07 on that one.
Failed that.
Failure.
Oh, failed.
It's just 1 or 2.
What the fuck are they carving? This I want to look at the body pile and see if anything else, like if they do that to all the corpses or any of them have markings.
You don't see anything like that on anybody, any
Yeah.
other bodies.
This place is a fucking slaughterhouse. They did some extra desecration on the American blood.
The worst part is that the smell of rot is here, but it's the kind of rot from raw meat that's been left out overnight. It's not like the bodies have been here for weeks. They're all kind of fresh, but they're all slowly rotting.
We need to get out of here. Let's see if we can clear the rest of this, and hopefully there's a vehicle. There's got to be some type of vehicle here, and let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. This is normal. This isn't right.
Yeah, there was some type of vehicle here, but according to you guys, it's full of these people.
I mean, there's roads over there. I mean, there's got to be something else, even if it's just, I don't know, a tractor. Regardless, let's
go catch that girl and get her to tell us.
Yeah. This is the whole fucking town in this pile here. We got to save that girl. And I mean, fuck these guys. If there's any other soldiers, let's take them out.
There's still at least 2 soldiers that we haven't found.
Yeah. Take them out, no problem. Deal with it.
Really? Because we had a little bit of trouble with the drunk guy.
You should have just
kind of a
stabbed
good
him.
point.
We tried to talk to him.
I think at this point we don't have to really worry too much about being quiet. So
Yeah.
our next encounter. Yeah.
All right. So as you, so you're going to go look for the girl? Okay.
I kind of think we should do the farmhouse first. I don't know. What do you guys?
I mean, that's the next building, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need to at least look in the windows, make sure there's not, a German with a rifle there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You get to the back of the barn. There's multiple ways in and out of the barn. So instead of going all the way back around where the tank was, you can go out the other door. The store is facing the farmhouse. I would like you to do stealth roll.
Oh, 2.
Ooh, fail.
That's a failure.
Yeah, I failed as well.
Okay.
I'll spend 1 to make it a regular.
Okay. So you start out of the barn, moving towards the farmhouse. Everybody do spot hiddens as well.
I got an extreme.
Okay.
I got hard.
Hearts.
Okay. So Jonathan and Clarence, you're going to see 2 different things at the same time. Clarence, you see across the yard, past the well, that cottage that you saw the girl go into, you see her come. She's come out of the cottage very cautiously. She's standing on the porch of the cottage, looking in your direction, and you see her go like that, okay? Like she's trying to warn you. Jonathan, you see something move in the second story of the farmhouse past one of the windows. It's just a shadow, but it could be a German military officer going past the window.
Okay.
The rest of you are too afraid. You guys are trying to tactically figure out where you're going to go.
Trying not to throw up from the pile of bodies.
Girls trying to warn us of something.
Yeah, there's somebody in the farmhouse. Second floor.
Yeah.
And you can see, now that you see her over there, she's like,
she's a friendly. She wants us to come.
Okay.
Now it'll be tricky getting across the entire yard. If somebody's in the farmhouse, they can see down right into the middle of the tarn where the well is.
Yeah, we got to take out the hostiles. I mean, it doesn't have to be all of us, but I'm at least going in. I need to try to kill him.
Can I see if I can get a shot through the window?
Well, he's not there now.
He's not there anymore.
Know where he is.
Okay. Oh, was there a loft in the barn?
There is a second story in the barn. Yeah.
Yeah, Zero, you want to post up there?
Sure. Yeah, I'll post up in the.
You may, in fact, be able to see better into the second story of the farmhouse. Too bad you guys didn't grab any binoculars. But that's cool. So, Clarence, you're going to weather the horrible smell and climb up into the second story of the barn and look out. From where you are looking out, you do occasionally see somebody move in the upper part of the farmhouse, but it's unpredictable and only for a second as they walk past. They seem to be moving quickly, like maybe they're agitated about something. That's the impression that you get. Kevin, what's your plan?
So there's the front door. Is there another obvious entrance to the building?
Sure, there's a back door. It's a farmhouse. There
Yeah,
are
I think I want to go
windows.
in the back. And I mean, I don't if somebody else is coming with me or if we're all sticking as a group, I want to go like room by room, look in the corners.
Well, do we want to go in through the front and the back?
If we're all doing it, we could split into two groups of two. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll go through the front.
All right,
Let's wait. And so the shadow, it's, do we like see it, like it's almost like it's pacing back and forth, or
not so regularly, but definitely occasionally you do see that there's somebody up there.
Could we wait until we see them move past and then move towards the farmhouse, just so we're not, happen to be in the middle of the yard when they walk past?
They walk past. Sure. I'll do that for stealth. Are you all going to go to the farmhouse then? Okay.
Clarence, you're on.
Yeah, I'm in the barn.
Okay. And just so I know, we're going to split up, some going to the front, some going to the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So Jonathan said he's going to the front. Who else is going to the front?
Me.
All right.
Jimmy. Okay.
Unless you want to.
No, I'll follow Kevin.
So it becomes clear to this girl what you guys are going to attempt. Jonathan, you're in the front. You can see her. Jimmy, you can see her. And she is really pleading with you to come there and don't go in the farmhouse. Ron and Kevin, you can't see that. You're in the back. So you move around towards the back door. Maybe you're not going straight to the door. You're going to sneak up to the farmhouse, peek in the windows as you go. You don't see anything downstairs. It looks like, peeking through the windows, that maybe at some point there was a fight. There's a couple of pieces of furniture knocked over, but for the most part, you don't see anything, like blood everywhere. And it's conventional, let's say a farmhouse, farmhouse furniture and stuff like that inside, but you don't see any movement on the bottom floor. So Jonathan and Ron, what are you going to do?
You mean Jonathan and Jimmy?
Oh, Jonathan and Jimmy, you're in the front. Yeah. You see the girl. What do you want to do? She seems frantic.
Jimmy, she wants us to come over there, but I don't want to leave these two guys in there by themselves.
Where to come over here then?
We don't want to pull her into the middle of this. This is going to get messy.
I mean, German?
No, I don't speak it.
You'd have to yell it across the.
Yeah, I don't know any German. I say we stick with the plan.
This girl is like 5 years old. 15 or whatever. We don't have to listen to her. Sorry.
I'm gonna continue with the plan and gonna check the doorknob carefully and
Door's
try to
not
open
locked.
it. Okay.
I'm
gonna ease it open.
You also can see inside from the window. You don't see there's anything downstairs. Perhaps you can even see through the main room to the other guys on the other side of the house moving next to the window. All right, so we'll just see you all get to the door at the same time. You in the back, you in the front. And let's take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
5 minutes later.
So the four of you enter quietly into the downstairs. You hear upstairs somebody walking back and forth and mumbling in German. If you have German, do a German roll.
I'll spend 8 luck to make it.
Okay. What you think the guy says is something like, but the power that you can provide, we could rise up, we could even overthrow Hitler and take over the country and take over the world with your help. But what do you say? I don't understand what my mother has to do with it. No, but no, that bitch in the other room. I will. Should I? What? What do you say? Anyways, he's talking like that, just walking back and forth. You can hear the creaking from upstairs. Other than that, the house looks pretty much normal.
Okay. Well, I'll very quietly tell Ferret just either the guy upstairs is losing his mind or he's talking to someone.
All right. Well, how do we get upstairs?
I think I want to clear the rooms down here first. We'll find the stairs while we're doing it.
All right.
Okay. Whoops, where's my farmhouse?
Then let's do it quickly and quietly.
Okay, so where you are, you're in kind of the living room. There's a fireplace over to your, I'm going to use north, south, east, and west, so that's not directly true. So the back door, you're coming in from the south. The front door, you're coming in from the north. There is a large fireplace on the east, and then there are two archways leading into the rest of the house. You can see that one goes into a dining room, and in the dining room on the table, there is the evidence of at least 5 people who have been eating not very well. I mean, eating like pigs. The other archway leads into a small hallway where the stairs go up, and then there's a kitchen on the other side of that. But there's no sound. Doesn't seem to be anybody down here. So you go into the hallway and then up the stairs is the way you'd go upstairs.
Okay. Well, yeah, at least want to poke my head into every room looking for people. But then, yeah, so when it's the 4 of us, before we go up the stairs, I'm just going to say that guy upstairs is talking crazy. He's talking about gaining powers to be able to rebel, go against Hitler. He sounds like he's mad.
Everybody do listen rolls. I'm sorry, power rolls.
100.
Failed.
Failure.
Oh, 94.
Okay, if you fail, you're not sure, but there might be somebody else up there talking to him, but they're talking in whispers. But Kevin, what did you get? 100?
Yep.
The voice that you hear is a little bit more clear, and it says, it's you hear it, and it's in English. It says, you must do what I've asked if you want me to grant you these things, but none of them are out of the question. I need what I need. It's still just a whisper, but you hear it clearly in English.
Is it male or female?
It sounds male, but you can't really tell. It's a whisper, but You think male.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Clarence, you are in the barn and you hear a noise inside the barn coming from down below the loft.
Take my rifle and look down below the loft.
Okay.
Gun first.
You look down from the loft and there is the pile of bodies, the light coming in from outside. And the headless body of the pilot is sitting up in the pile of straw. And I mean, it's in a sitting position. Do a sanity roll.
That's a failure.
Okay, do a 1d4.
It's 4.
Okay.
And I am down to indefinitely insane.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say that you yell when you see it. And you are indefinitely insane. Roll 1d6. I mean 1d8, sorry.
Looking for my D8. There it is. 6.
Okay. In your mind, this whole thing has been a setup. And your comrades, are probably, I mean, you've had pranks pulled on you before and you don't like it. But in this case, they're really seriously fucking with you. You've got you're paranoid. You think they've set this all up.
Okay.
Okay.
I think so. This thing on the ground floors, it's not real. They got it rigged up with strings. Some crazy shit's going on. So I'm going to go out to the window, look out the window again. And are there like tools or anything?
Sure, there's barn tools.
I'm going to throw a tool at the window and start yelling. You fucking assholes.
What kind of tool are you going to throw out the window?
I was thinking like a trowel or something.
It's quite a throw, but okay. Do a throw roll.
Sure. 34 out of 20. It's not worth spending the 14 luck on.
Okay. You throw the trowel and it just lands on the gravel outside the barn about halfway across. And you're going to yell. Okay. Yeah. As soon as you yell, all of the rest of you hear him yell something. And the German walking upstairs suddenly stops walking and then suddenly walks, and you think towards that side of the building, towards the fireplace side of the building where the window would be looking towards the barn. What do you guys want to do?
Let's move on him.
Okay, so you're going to go up the stairs?
Do it fast.
Do it fast, yeah.
Okay. You get to you come up the stairs. I assume you're doing it tactically. You're being careful. Who's armed with what?
I have a pistol.
I have a pistol.
I have a pistol.
Okay.
Knife.
Okay, cool. You get to the top of the stairs, and there is evidence of some blood and so forth on the carpet. There are, she has hardwood floors. On the hardwood floors, to your left, you can see you're coming up into a hallway. There are 3 doorways. The doors are open. 3 doorways. There's one on the left, There's one straight ahead of you, and then there's one on the right. The German fellow has gone through the door on your left, and you can hear him because he's moving around a bit. You hear him suddenly smash the window and begin firing his gun, probably towards Clarence. Clarence, do a dodge roll, or you can fire back.
I think I will fire back.
Okay.
A 40, that is a pass.
Okay. He fires also. A couple of bullets hit the side of the barn, but he doesn't hit you. You fire and you hit. Do a damage roll.
Is that the 2d6 plus 4?
Let's see. What's your weapon? You've got a rifle.
Just a rifle.
2d6. 2d6.
Okay. Give another d6. 7.
Okay, you hit him in the shoulder, and the rest of you see him suddenly fall back and call out, cursing in German. Schweinhold, he fires a couple of more times. You guys can come up literally right behind him. That's what I do.
Pulp Fiction,
My dad-
just
Yeah,
Yeah,
shoot him.
all of us.
All right.
Shoot.
So you come rushing into the room. He's busy looking out the window. Describe what you guys do to him.
Well, I'm kind of concerned about crossfire. If
You're kind of
Zero
shooting.
at
You're
us.
not really shooting in the direction of the barn. You're shooting side.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Just try to take him out.
Yeah.
okay.
Step in the door, move to the side.
I don't think that you need to roll for that because he's right there and he's not seeing you. Your first bullet hits him and he turns and looks at you, but he's falling to the ground as he tries to turn and fire. He completely misses. He's cursing at you in German, calling you all sorts of names. A couple of more of your bullets hit him and he falls to the ground dead, blood all over the floor.
When that happens, if I can, I'll step into the room and just kind of look around it really fast just to make sure there's nobody else there.
Okay. There is nobody else there. Clarence, you hear a noise behind you again. And when you turn around this time, the headless body is stumbling about. And before you really can react to it, it leaves the barn. You can do a sanity roll again. Nope.
No.
1d6 on that one.
4.
4. Okay. Just take the 4 points of damage. But you yell once again. You guys can hear Clarence yelling in the barn. But you've killed the German fellow. So what do you want to do? Well, we'll go around the room. Jonathan, you're there?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Once the guy is on the ground, it's really just about securing the position, and just doing a sweep through the rest of the rooms on the
Okay, well,
upper
we're gonna
floor.
before you actually go around. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna make sure he's secure. Ron,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
I think Ron would be like, "What the hell is Clarence doing?" And then he'll just start running down the stairs with the goal of getting to the barn and shutting him up.
Okay, so you're running down the stairs, Kevin.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So I'll tell everyone quickly. There was someone else speaking English, and I think I'll shout for him, just like, "Where are you? We know you're here. Come out."
Uh, there's still another German soldier somewhere. There's one left as far as your count goes. But okay. Jimmy, what do you do?
I think I'm just gonna go outside the house and sort of keep watch to make sure the German doesn't like rumble us or anything like that.
Okay. So you're going down with Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it Kevin going
Like
outside?
Well, I'm
Or,
going
with-
outside.
Oh, you're going
yeah,
out with
Ron.
Ron.
with
Okay.
Ron.
All right. So you guys run outside. Kevin, I'm sorry, Kevin, what were you going to do?
Well, so I'm staying in the room. Sweets was clearing the top floor, right? So
Sweets is going to do that.
yeah, I'll stay close to him, try to cover him, and yeah, just shouting for the person who was speaking English.
Okay. That's right. You shouted for him. Kevin, do a power roll.
83. Nope.
You get the distinct feeling that whoever it is in the far room on the other end of the farmhouse. Jonathan, the next door in the hall you go into, it's a bedroom. This was also a bedroom. You look around, it looks out to the front of the house. When you look, just glance out the window, you see the girl. She is looking in the direction of the farmhouse again. She heard shots. She wants to know if the German killed you all or vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just open a window and kind of wave in her direction.
Okay. When she sees that, her eyes go wide and she starts running towards the farmhouse. Okay.
Okay.
Kevin.
And yeah, I'll pat Sweets on the shoulder and point at the room that I think it's in.
Okay. Well, I thought that you were going to go in there while he was in this room looking.
I kind of want to stick together.
Okay. So you wait for him. You both go into
Yeah.
the far bedroom. The first thing that you see is that there is a woman, an old woman. She is tied to the bed. There's kind of some evidence that she may have been raped a number of times. She seems black and blue, and she's awake. She's conscious. She looks up at you, and her eyes go wide, and she says, "Americans."
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck.
She says, "It's a German. He's dead."
Yes.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! Please help me.
Yeah.
I'll give her medical attention.
You have to untie her. Yeah, she's tied
Yep.
down. So, Ron and Jimmy, you run outside. Are you going to go out the front door or the back door?
I guess the back door, whatever's closest.
They're okay. Well, the back door is closer. All right. So you run out the back door and you run towards the barn, and you can hear Clarence upstairs freaking out about something. You also make a discovery when you leave the farmhouse and you're going towards the barn. The first time you left the barn, you came towards the farmhouse and you really didn't look back. Now that you're looking back, you can see on the side of the barn, on this side, that it looks like a whole bunch of people were lined up and slaughtered with probably machine gun. You can see bullets in the marks in the side of the thing. You also notice over towards your left, there is a nearby tree that has what looks like a couple of people hanging from it, as if the Germans were torturing them or whatever. But you're moving towards it, and you can still hear Clarence kind of freaking out upstairs. Maybe he's cackling, maybe he's crying, whatever.
combination of the two.
Right. She's going to go in?
Yeah, I would keep going in, and probably at this point we've made so much noise, just yelling, "Clarence, Clarence, what's going on?"
What the
As he
fuck do
moves
you
into the
want,
bar.
asshole?
Dude, quiet.
Fucking tell me what to do. There's a fucking dead guy walking around.
What?
There's that guy who's no head. He's walking around, the fucking soldier.
What are you talking about? We killed the German in there. Get down here, and I don't know what's going on, but stop.
You fucking make me, man.
At this point, or am I in the kind of the barn looking up, or
You're in the barn near the pile of bodies looking up.
all right, try not to look at the bodies. Yeah, just
Right.
looking up at Clarence. Come on, just come down, please. Come down, so we can. We need to figure out what's going on here.
I'll climb down the ladder and
Okay.
make my way down.
So as you sort of start to climb down, you're feeling a little calmer that the bout of madness is fading. Ron, you're looking up at him. Who's with you, Jimmy? Jimmy, you're
Yep.
with him. Jimmy, do a spot hidden.
Yeah, I was sort of looking out to make sure no one was coming from the village to kill us. 77 is not a pass.
Okay. Then do a luck roll for me.
All right. Yeah, it's a pass. 49.
Okay. You don't see it, but at the last moment, you maybe hear a footfall almost directly behind you. And as you turn, this headless body with the markings all over its torso has come up behind you, and it is reaching for your neck.
Sorry about
You
that.
yelp out quite loudly, I'm sure, which Clarence and Ron, you immediately hear as the body is coming for you.
I
think
fucking
I'm just
told you,
gonna-
man.
What the hell's going on?
What do you want to do, Jimmy? It is going to try and grab your head.
I think I'm just going to book it. That's terrifying. I'm not going to try to fight this thing.
Try to dodge.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
All right,
Sorry.
roll dodge.
Yeah, 16. That's hard.
Okay.
Not extreme.
As it reaches for your head, you manage to jump out of the way. What do Ron and Clarence, you're halfway down the ladder. Ron, what do you do?
I think instinctively just try to shoot it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You're so startled and frightened that you fire wildly. Jonathan and Kevin, you hear the door downstairs open and close, and you hear footfalls running towards the downstairs towards the stairs. You're taking the woman apart. Or you're untying her. Do a spot hidden roll.
Nope.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a second, Jonathan. What do you guys want to do, though? You hear somebody coming up the stairs,
So
running.
I expect it to be the little girl, but still I'm gonna hold my gun out while I wait to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to be untying the lady and
Okay.
taking care of her.
So while you are untying the lady, you have this sudden feeling that you saw something downstairs. something that you forgot, but it was something downstairs that you were going to look at, but you can't quite remember what it was. Was it a box? You can't remember. Anyways, that's what's going on in your mind. Yes, in fact, the little girl comes running up. She's not so little. She's maybe 17, you think, now that you see her closely. And she comes running up and she says, "Are they dead? Are they all dead?"
As far as I know, there was someone else speaking English.
And she says, "No, this was only the Germans." And she runs over to her grandmother and helps her to get up. She says, grandmother, thank God you're safe. Yes. What are the two of you doing?
I want to press that a little bit. Just yeah. Hey, Grandma. The Kraut was talking to someone in English. Who else was in here?
She seems to ignore you. Jonathan, what are you going to do?
I'm asking, do you need any medicine?
I'd like you both to do listens because grandma and granddaughter aren't paying any attention to you.
Nope.
Yes, that is hard.
Okay. Jonathan, you're adept enough that you see that the two of them are looking at each other in a way that doesn't says they're not so distressed about what's all this that's happened around them. You think the grandmother says, "Do you know where it is? Where is it hidden? It's a box." But they're saying it quiet enough to where, Kevin, you don't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll interject and I'll say, what box? What box?
They both look at you with a look of terror for a moment, and then the old woman says, "No, you don't know. It's nothing. It's nothing. You've killed the Germans. You've done your job."
No. What's going on here? Like, what is all this? What does this box have to do with this?
No, don't. There are questions you must not ask.
Hey, there was someone else speaking English. There's someone else in this house. It was a man.
No. There's nobody here. It's just
I know what I
you
heard.
killed the German. You've done your job.
Yeah. Hold on here. Can you watch these two while I go downstairs and take a look?
Yeah, go ahead.
The old woman says, "No, you mustn't."
No, I'm gonna check this out. This is part of my job.
No, don't. Right. So what are you going to go downstairs?
I'm gonna go downstairs and see if I can find what I thought
Okay.
I was looking for.
Do a spot hidden roll for me.
1.
Wow.
Okay. You look around the room and you don't see anything right away. And you realize that kind of hidden in plain sight by putting a cloth over it or something, there does seem to be a crate, like a crate you would put wine bottles in, and it's over near the fireplace with a cloth draped over it. It's the only thing that really looks like a box.
Okay, I'll pull the cloth off.
You move whatever's on top, maybe a lamp or something off. You pull the cloth off. It is a box. Looks like it's carved. It's got symbols on it. It's a light colored wooden box with a lid.
Do the symbols on the box resemble symbols we saw on the Endless
maybe.
Sky?
Yeah, maybe. weird. You don't recognize the language.
Okay. Sure, I'll open the box.
Okay. Open the box. And inside the box, there is a straw that's been thrown in there. And in the center of the box, there is a old, desiccated human head. And as you look at it, its eyes open and it says, "Ah, Jonathan, how nice to see you. I've got something I'd like you to do. I'd like you to lie to your friends and tell them you've seen nothing. Hide me somewhere in the house. Keep me safe. And I'll bring your brother back from the dead.
How can you do that?
I have many, many powers." In the meantime, what's everybody else up to? Kevin, you're upstairs. Ron and Jimmy and Clarence, you are about to engage a headless body that is trying to attack you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to continue to shoot, but I don't know where everybody else is. I just asking because I don't want to. If they're like right in front of me, I'm not going to.
Jimmy said that he's trying to get away.
Yeah.
Clarence, you were halfway down the stairs. You go down? Do you go up?
I think I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go up.
So it's really Clarence and Ron against this headless thing. Ron, you continue to fire. Do a firearms. Clarence, what are you going to do? You're like really close to the thing.
I may actually try to squeeze by and escape as well.
Okay. I would like you to do a dodge, but at a penalty dice.
Okay.
I failed my handgun roll.
Okay.
I passed.
Okay. So you are scooting past it. Ron, you have failed. The reason, Clarence, why you get past it is because it sort of lunges towards Ron as he's firing his gun. Ron misses in terror, and the thing reaches out, grabs a hold of your shoulder, Ron, and moves in such a way that it kind of wraps itself around you, and it has your head in kind of this position. Jimmy, how far? Where are you? How far have you gotten, or are you still within?
I'm running for the machine gun on the tank.
Okay, that would take you an hour to take it off, and
yeah, I want to like go inside the tank and see if I can like peek out and just wait to see if it comes and tries to get me.
Okay. Clarence, are you going to do anything, or are you going to run?
I'm not in immediate danger. I'm freaking out. I think I'm gonna try to beat at it with my rifle.
Okay. Go ahead and do a brawl.
A beat at it roll. That is a failure.
Okay. You keep hitting it across the shoulder blades, and it keeps not taking any damage. Meanwhile, it's grabbed Ron around the head, and it's beginning to twist and try and tear your head off. Back in the house, Kevin, the, the woman and the girl, they say to you, no, you don't understand. It's evil. It's an evil thing in the box. Very evil. We must not. You must not disturb it. Don't let it speak to you.
What? Something? There's something living in a box. Is that what the guy was talking to?
It's a kind of I don't know how to say in English. A user of magical powers, a demon. Meanwhile, Jonathan, you're downstairs listening to this thing talk. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna say back to it. I don't really believe you.
But you must. You must believe me. Do as I say.
Dude, why?
Well, I can give you things. I can reward you. I can give you secrets of the universe you'd never imagined. Come on, Jonathan. Don't you want your brother back?
I do.
You killed him after all.
That was an accident.
Well, yes, but I can fix your accident. Come on. Do it, he says.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how it would fix any problems, honestly, if you just magically brought him back.
Come on, Jonathan, do something.
Yeah, I think I will, and I'll put the lid back on the box.
Okay, what are you going to do with the box?
Gonna put the cover back over it and head back upstairs.
Okay. So you come back upstairs. You find Kevin still guarding the women. They seem to be telling him some sort of story. They immediately look at you when you come upstairs. You didn't find it good because you shouldn't look. You shouldn't listen to it.
What is this thing you were talking about?
Oh, it's a monster, a demon. But our village has kept it for hundreds of years so that it can't get out. Ron,
I just
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just don't understand this whole what. Is there any way you can help explain this?
Kevin, do a power roll.
Yep. Nope, fail again.
Okay. From downstairs, Kevin, you hear a voice. This time it sounds almost like it's inside your head. It says, Kevin, please come rescue me. Take me away from this place. Remember all those people that you blew up, that you killed. I can make that pain go away forever.
Whoa. You guys hearing that? Or something?
Hear what?
What's happening? No, it's something's talking to me.
Is it making promises to you?
It knows me. It said my name. Where is it?
Yeah. It's downstairs.
Kevin, you're standing there, the women with Jonathan. Jonathan goes over to the bed next to the old woman, and he sits down next to her, and he starts whispering something to her. The little girl's listening, and they're all three sort of in cahoots. They all look over at you and they say, "It's okay. It's okay. Go help him."
Yeah. All right. Go downstairs.
So you get up, turn around, and start to go downstairs. You seem somehow to know right where the box is. Jonathan, you're up there, um, sort of trying to tell them what you saw, and the old women are telling you, don't," or the old woman and her daughter or granddaughter, "No, you must never listen to it." Meanwhile, Kevin stands up with a glazed sort of look in his eyes, turns around and walks downstairs. If you try to catch his attention, he just ignores you and he goes. What do you
Okay.
want to do?
I'm gonna look to the ladies and I'm gonna say, I think we need to go downstairs.
They nod their heads, and you're sort of following Kevin.
Yeah, because I know where he's going.
Ron, do a dex roll to see if you can escape from this thing.
No, fail.
There is a horrible crunching noise as your spine separates. The skin on your neck begins to stretch, and the blood begins to squirt as Jimmy, you're trying to hit this thing and nothing is happening, and pop, your head comes off. Sorry, Ron. Clarence, where are you? Oh, you've run to the tank?
No, that was
No,
Jimmy.
that was
who ran
me.
Oh,
the
that was
tank.
Jimmy. Jimmy's run to the tank. Jimmy, you climb into the tank and probably close the lid and hide behind the machine gun. Clarence,
Yep.
where are you then? You were trying to hit him.
I was trying to whack him with my gun.
He tears off Ron's head. Do a sanity roll.
God. 90 is a failure.
90. Do a 1d8.
6.
6. Okay. Do a 1d6. 1d8 again.
4.
4. You stagger away from this horror, and the last sort of thing that you kind of remember is the thing raising up Ron's head and preparing to put it on its own neck stump. And then as you're looking around, you are not quite sure where you are or how you got here or what's going on. You're still seeing what's going on, but the last thing you remember is being safe in bed, back in the barracks, and suddenly you've been instantly transported to the middle of this horror show. You have amnesia. You don't remember anything that's happened in the last 12 hours.
What the fuck? Where am I? Where am I? What the fuck is this thing? I'm just start running.
You run away?
Just in a random direction. I don't even know. I don't know. I'll run.
Okay, you start running. Jimmy, looking through the thing, you suddenly see Clarence run in back in the direction of the river, the creek, and he's running like a little girl runs. Arms going like this, no weapons in his hand. He's just freaking out completely. What do you do?
Well, I feel like our team has sort of been completely defeated, so I'm gonna get out of the tank and run to where Kevin and Jonathan are to warn them about the horrors going on in the stable or in the barn.
As you get out of the tank, and start heading towards the farmhouse, you see this once headless corpse come out of the barn with Ron's head on top of it now. Um, and it puts its arms like this and it sort of looks around like it hasn't seen the world for a while. Do a sand roll.
Yeah, that's not good. That is no bueno.
Okay. Do 1d6.
Okay. Yeah, that's 4.
Okay, you still keep it together, but you're scared shitless and you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep running towards the farmhouse, but I am 1 away from indefinite insanity. So
Okay. As you burst through the door of the farmhouse, um, you see Kevin reaching for this box, about to open it. And you see Jonathan and an old woman and a girl right behind him. The old woman grabs a hold of Kevin, grabs his clothes, and tries to pull him back. No, no, you mustn't, she says. And Kevin, this voice in your head says, yes, yes, you must. You need to keep me safe from these people. By all means. Do a power roll.
Ooh, I actually passed that one. I got a hard.
Then you can make your own choice as to what you do.
Well, I'll spin away from the box and kind of like, yeah, fight him off my clothes and just be like, what? You guys all just told me to come down here.
No, no, he didn't. No, he
Yeah.
didn't. No, he didn't.
You sat down on the bed and said, go check it out. I
No,
didn't
we
even know
didn't.
you were back here. You just like teleported here.
No, no. It's this whole, no. We
The
need
fuck?
to just,
Oh,
we
hey,
just
Jimmy,
need to
what's
get,
up?
The old woman kind of pushes past you and she grabs a hold of the box as if she wants to keep it closed. Um, but the girl says something to her. The girl says, no, Granny, you don't understand. Um, it's going to save us. I made a deal with it. And she's like, no, no, you mustn't do that. We've tried before and it's disaster. And the girl says, but it's already done. And the old woman looks terrified. I would like you all, except for poor Ron, to do a power roll.
That one failed again.
Do you want me to roll as well?
Sure.
Okay.
regular.
that was an extreme.
Failure.
Okay, Clarence. How'd you do, Jimmy?
Regular. Pass.
Okay. So you're running away. You continue to run away. Clarence, you.
No, I'm in the house with them.
Oh, you came in the house. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
But you passed.
Yes.
Clarence, you feel all of a sudden a compulsion to go back to the house, though you don't know why. I'll let you decide, but you really kind of want to know what's going on.
I think I will slowly stop, like not stop immediately, kind of slow to a jog, then stop and catch my breath a little and turn around and start jogging back.
Okay. Jonathan, you failed.
I failed.
You failed your power roll.
I got an extreme success.
Okay, you got an extreme success. Kevin, you failed.
Yep.
Kevin, you're not sure whether the other people in this room are not German soldiers in disguise, but They want what's in the box, and what's in the box is American patriotism. So you really don't want them to have that. What do you do?
Well, so who's in possession of it right now? The old lady?
Mm-hmm. She's kind of wrapped her arms around it.
Oh. And the granddaughter's trying to get it from her?
No, the granddaughter's not trying to get it from him, but she's saying it's all right. I've already taken care of the problem.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll stand beside the granddaughter and just be like, yeah, it's all right, lady. We came in here, we saved your life. Just go ahead and hand over that box.
She says, you mustn't listen to it. It's a liar. It's a liar. And she has kind of an argument with the little girl. And she says to the little girl, no, you're too young. You don't understand. It takes years of training to resist it. We've tried giving it a body before, and it's disaster.
Speaking of bodies, there's a fucking Nazi zombie outside that ripped Ron's head off and is now wearing it as its own head.
You say that, and the old woman just turns white. And she looks at the little girl, and the little girl's like, and the old woman says, you have to destroy it. Destroy it. Destroy it.
Oh, it's indestructible.
If it gets hold of the head, we're all lost.
How do we destroy it?
Just enough damage to it. Destroy it. It's just a body. But Kevin, what you hear inside the box says, oh, yeah, give me to the dead Nazi, not Nazi, but give me to keep them from keeping. Yeah, you could bring us together. I'd like to see this.
All right, guys. I think I know how to fix this. I need that box.
This is really not a great plan, I'm sure. No.
What's in the box?
Nothing.
Claymores or something?
No.
I don't know.
No.
It's like a little guy that's talking to us or something. But we need it.
Jimmy,
What?
do
Yeah, we need it.
Do a power roll.
We need a Panzerfauster, like an RPG or some shit. Ooh. No, that's a regular fail.
Okay. Jimmy, you hear a voice in your head, and it says, oh, Jimmy, you're here. You've come to help me. Yes, you should take control of the box. I'm inside the box. I can grant you your wish. I can make sure that you end up with your brother's wife. I can make sure that he's out of the picture and you will live happily ever after with her. I'm like a genie. I can grant wishes. And you don't actually feel like it's odd that the box is talking to you.
Yeah, Kevin, why don't we take this away from Grandma over here?
Yes, Jimmy, I always knew you were a red-blooded American.
She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Oh, red-blooded.
Hand it over,
That's
Granny.
right.
Jonathan, obviously they're not acting normal.
Yeah, no, it's stacking against me here. Look, guys, this is not what you think it is. It's not. So just leave the box alone. It was here when we got here. It'll be here when we gone. We don't have to worry about it. We can just pretend like it's not even there. Like we never even found it.
Kevin,
that's what
Jimmy,
we're here for, right?
Don't listen to that fool. Don't let him get between us.
I'm pretty sure America sent us to come get this box.
Exactly. Cindy doesn't love that guy. She's just dating him for his, superior good looks and money. That's all.
Clarence, as you come running trotting back to the thing, you see this lumbering fellow walking across the yard towards the farmhouse. Um, it kind of looks like Ron, except it's bare chested and has cuts all over it.
Ron? Ron, is that you? Wait.
It turns at you as it's walking. It turns its head towards you and looks, and it gives you this big, strange looking grin, but it continues walking towards the farmhouse. It's almost at the farmhouse. Jimmy, you're near the door, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do a spot hidden for me.
All right. Pass. Actually, that was a 02.
Oh, well, then in that case, it doesn't quite get to the porch before you turn and you see it coming. Ron's head on a dead pilot's body. You also notice Clarence over across the yard, looking strange at you, at the thing. But the thing is coming towards you rather with a strange grin on its face.
Look, it's our buddy. Come right in, buddy. Hey, it's right over here.
Now, you did see his head get torn off, remember?
Oh, am I not mind controlled to love this guy?
Not necessarily.
Okay, then I'm going to freak out and say, it's the zombie.
Yeah.
Shoot it.
I'm going to run in that direction and just start shooting.
Okay. I would like you to do firearms.
Okay.
We're not counting bullets in this game.
Okay. I rolled 15, which is a hard success.
Okay. Go ahead and do damage.
Okay. 3.
Okay. You hit it perhaps in the arm or the shoulder, and the bullet goes in. You can see that it doesn't have any blood, but you've done damage to it. It's not like healing. Meanwhile, Kevin and Kevin, he's shooting a gun at the very thing that you want to get it back to. However, you can do a power roll again. As can you, Jimmy.
Oh man, I'd have to spend 12 luck. I think that's a little bit too steep.
Yeah,
Jimmy?
no, I failed.
Okay.
81.
So the voice in your head says, "Oh no, don't let them harm the body. If they harm the body, I'll have to have one of you use your own body and replace it. You wouldn't want that. You better stop, Jonathan.
If you say so. Jonathan, hold your fire.
Yeah, I'll like grab his gun.
Jonathan, what are you going to do before he grabs your gun?
Yeah, before he grabs my gun, I'm going to put another shot into this thing.
Okay. So in this case, you do a firearms roll, and Kevin, you try to grapple or brawl to stop him.
Let's see. Let's hope that this is another one of those fails that I keep getting. Nope, I got an extreme.
I got a 9.
Is that an extreme?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I got an 8.
So, well, you both got extremes. So, Jonathan, you fire off your gun. Go ahead and do damage, but it's just before Kevin, grabs the gun. And
that is 12.
Ooh, 12. You take a good solid chunk out of the thing's shoulder. In fact, one of its arms is kind of dangling now, but it continues forward. Kevin, you've grabbed a hold of his hand with the gun. Jimmy, what do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna get the grandma away from the box and try to open it up.
Okay. Um, go ahead and grapple.
Yeah.
I'm just wrestling your hand. Just no, sweets. I think you're making a mistake. I'm pretty
I am
sure
not-
you're wrong.
Making a mistake.
Yeah, I'll spend 12 to pass.
Okay. You start fighting with Grandma. And when you do that, the girl becomes distressed only because it's her grandmother and you're fighting with her. But you're probably easy enough to shove her down and just take the box from her, which you do. Kevin, as you are struggling with Jonathan, you can do a power roll to see if you can break the connection.
Come on. 57. I'll spend 2 luck to get a regular.
Okay, you start to think, why? Why are you stopping Jonathan? He's your comrade. And there's
Yeah.
that thing outside coming at you.
As soon as I have a little bit of doubt, I let go. Just back away
Okay.
from him.
Like-
So he lets go. Clarence, what are you doing? Are you just watching, or what do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna jog up, kind of like next to the thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like, Ron, what are they shooting at you, Ron? I'm just gonna yell at the door. Quit shooting at Ron, dude.
Clarence, that is not Ron.
Look at him. Of course it's Ron.
It's
Looks
not.
just like him.
From here up.
Yeah. Where else do you look? And I'm gonna be trying to like just walk it. I'm keeping pace with the thing, and like talk, kind of like nudging it with my elbow, kind of doing some manly.
Okay. So the thing gets to the door right where Jonathan and Kevin are going to be. Jonathan, what do you do?
If he's right there, I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay. Where are you going to shoot him?
I'm going to shoot him in the head.
Okay. You're going to bring the gun up. You're going to fire into his head. Go ahead and do the. Did you pass? Or, yeah, do the firearms.
I failed by 2, but I will spend the luck to
Okay.
pass that.
Okay. You bring the gun right up to its face and you fire. And its face sort of blows off. You blow a hole right in its head. And Kevin, you hear the guy in the box says, well, we'll just have to get somebody else. And says, actually, we don't need that head. We've got my head. All you got to do is put my head on that body, and we'll be cool. We'll give you guys all what you most desire. Come on, do it. You guys can, well, I think Jonathan is pretty much resolved that he is not on this thing's side. And
Yeah, I'm not.
Its mental attack is not winning. So, Jonathan, well, Kevin, what do you want to do?
Jimmy has the box, right?
He's got the box and he's opening the lid.
Oh, if he's opening it, then I want to go peek in too. So I'm just imagining that it's a little man at this point. Seeing a head freaked me out.
Okay. So as he opens the box and you see this desiccated head with its eyes open and its mouth barely moving, like it says, well, are you going to do something or not? All I want is that body. All I want is the body. Just give me the body and I'll fucking leave. And the old woman's like, no, don't give him what he wants.
I'd probably spend some time just staring at it and being scared.
Okay.
Jimmy, just both of us looking at it. What
I'm
the
gonna-
fuck is?
I'm gonna take the head out of the box.
When you do that, it sort of gives you oh, I haven't been out of that box in so long. Please give me to just knock that bit of garbage off the top of its neck and put me up there. This is all so bizarre. You can all give me, well, Kevin and Jimmy, you can do POW rolls. Jonathan, you are not on this thing's side. You're listening to Grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. 09.
I'm spending 3 more luck to get a regular.
In that case, you guys are all in your right minds. The thing is trying to impose its will on your brain, but everything that it's telling you seems wrong at this point.
Why the hell am I listening to a talking head?
Yeah, this is fucking weird. Jimmy, stomp that thing.
I've been trying to tell you this thing. Stuff a grenade in its mouth and toss it out the window.
I'll give it to Grandma.
Grandma clamps the lid down on it. And when you do that, she tries to get onto her hands and knees so that she can get up. And she says, as she's doing this, she says to you, you can't destroy it. That would be worse. We have to keep it safe and keep it hidden. But destroy the body. So, what are you guys going to do?
I want to stomp on the head.
You going to steal it from her?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do a brawl.
64 is a fail.
Okay, she got a regular one. So she skitters away from you. In this case, probably trying to get to the back stairs and go back up, or the stairs and go back upstairs. She says, no, destroy the body. You don't understand.
Yeah, she's too squirrely. I'll help, sweets.
Yeah. If you have any of your magic powder, please help me put this thing out.
Man, I don't like that thing fucking with my head. No, I got nothing. I got a pistol.
Okay.
But it doesn't have much of a head left. I mean, the head's useless to it. It can't see. You can see that it's blind, and it's reaching out, trying to grab somebody else's neck.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it again.
Okay. It's pretty much point blank. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. 5.
Okay. Where were you aiming?
I'm going to aim for the heart.
Okay. You blow part of a hole in its chest, and it does stagger backwards, as if it's been seriously injured. Jimmy and Kevin. Kevin, what are you going to do? Jimmy, we have to you in a second. Jimmy, you do something.
I'm gonna look around for something since it's like kind of just shambling around at this point. I'm gonna look for something to like maybe set it on fire and just burn it up.
Okay. There's
like some gas or
there's
something.
Probably alcohol in the house. There's fireplaces, so there's maybe those long matches, whatever. So you've got a source of fire. Be creative. Tell me what you do.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I cut out for like 5 seconds.
I just said you can be creative. There's alcohol in the house. There's fireplaces, so there's definitely a source of fire.
All right, I'm gonna get, if there's like an old lantern, I'm gonna get the old lantern, light it, and just like sort of smash it over the non-head, like the blown off head,
like a kerosene lantern.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do a brawl for that.
Okay. It's my strong suit. Yes, that's a hard 22.
Okay. I'm not sure what fire damage is, but we'll say it's on fire. So it's taking continual damage. Clarence, this mayhem in front of you, you start to recall what happened. But there is literal mayhem going on in front of you. Ron's head's been blown off and he's flailing around on fire. But now you're pretty sure that's not Ron.
Okay. I'm going to try and turn back and remember where I dropped the rifle.
Okay.
And go run towards that.
Okay. That's quite a ways in that direction, but you're going to just start running. I see, Jonathan. You've got this thing that's on fire. You've shot it once. You haven't completely damaged it, but now it's sort of flailing about.
Yeah, the only thing I know to do is just keep shooting it.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I roll for shooting or damage?
Just roll for shooting, because now that you're back a little bit because it's on
All right.
fire.
Okay, that's a failure.
Okay, you shoot into it, but you don't do enough damage. Kevin?
Oh yeah, I'm blasting it. I want to aim at his knees, try to make it fall.
Okay.
29. See, I can spend 4 luck for a hard, or that's a regular.
You did better than I did. So
Cool.
you blow a big chunk of its legs off. It falls to the ground. It's writhing around. It's probably easy enough for you guys to do a coup de grace. As you're doing that, you feel this mental pressure, something pushing on your mind the way it did before, trying to get inside. It sounds almost like screaming from the head, that voice, but it can't quite get in. It all sounds like total lies, total bullshit coming from it. You're not going to be fooled again. And with that, the body dies or burns up, and you guys kind of shove it out into the yard so it doesn't catch the house on fire. And what do you want to do?
Guys, I don't like that head messing with us. I think we gotta destroy it.
The girl.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. The girl's still there, and she says, "No, you can't destroy it. Our village has been guarding it so that it doesn't get out and doesn't get away." She says, I wanted to let it have what it said that it would kill all of the Germans if I let it have a body. But now I'm thinking maybe it was lying.
Well, you're German, aren't you?
Well, the German soldiers. We're not all on the German soldiers' side.
Yeah. I mean,
My grandmother was educated in America.
What do you mean we can't destroy it? Like, we gotta try.
Grandma comes back. She's apparently hidden the head somewhere. And she says, "No, it can't be destroyed. We've tried. We've tried many times in the past. It's been part of our village for hundreds of years. And we train our children. We become initiates, and we become guardians of it to keep it from getting out. There's been some horrible things where people have given it's a body, and it doesn't understand our world. It eats whatever it wants, including our children. It's insane. It's a monster. It's some sort of sorcerer, some sort of wizard from long ago. And we've tried to destroy the head, and we can't do it. It won't work. But we can keep it from getting away. We cut its head off long time ago. And as long as it doesn't have a body, it can't really do anything. But the influence that it had over you, that's one of its powers. And that's why we have to train so that we can resist it. The soldiers went stark raving mad. One of them hung himself. One of them blew his brains out. And the others went completely stark raving mad, including the main guy. And
trying to find the head.
He was listening to the head. He found the head, and it was feeding him information in his mind, but he was out of his skull. And the daughter says, I had part of the training, and I knew how to prepare a body for it, which it told me. It promised that it would get rid of all the bad guys and save the village if I just prepared a body. So the Germans had killed the pilot, but I used the body. I prepared the body the way they had told me. And that's what you walked into.
So in that pile, the rest of them in the barn, that's the whole village, isn't it?
They killed everyone in the village. Yes. Once the head started talking to them, he had it kill everyone in the village because we were the ones that were immune to it. Now my granddaughter and I have to take it somewhere and hide it and keep it safe from anyone else finding it. It won't burn. It won't burn. It won't. We've tried every which way to kill it. And
maybe take it to like the Arctic or something.
Maybe. But I'm sorry that this happened to you, but we have to go. And you probably have some stuff to get back to too. And she turns around with her daughter and they walk out of the room. And that's more or less the end of the story. Some of you are insane. You can come up with your own what you do after that. Sorry that Ron was killed there towards the end. But if the body got a hold of a head, it would pull the head off. Any questions?
What do you know? Do you have any information about what the thing in the box was?
Yes, it was a Hyperborean wizard. Let's see. Head in the box. The girl's name was Annalise. I've got it on my note. A Hyperborean wizard named Malkazak. He was at one time the Grand Magus of Muhuthulan in the northern Hyperborean area. The Germans called him, I didn't try to do any of the German stuff, but the Germans called him Flüsterer der Geheimnis, the whisperer of secrets.
What would have happened if it was destroyed?
Well, there's no way to actually destroy the head. But it certainly, and it can make you do what it wants you to do. But you always get a power roll to see if you can resist. And it can't make you kill yourself or kill one of your comrades. That would shock you out of it. But it can certainly make you take it somewhere else and it played out it played out that way. There's actually some fun ways you can play that out where you tell the person under the influence one thing and you tell everybody else something else. It suggests like you decide to burn it in the fireplace but the other people walk in and just see you sitting in front of the fireplace, sort of sitting there, not doing anything, because the head said, no, 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 don't do that.
Yeah.
And what happens if the head gets attached?
If it gets out, if it gets away from you, then you might take more sanity damage when you start to hear rumors of some thing in the woods that catches children and eats them. And you'd have a whole Delta Green episode going after trying to find this Hyperborean wizard. Yeah, he would gain his powers back too, so he'd be incredibly dangerous. Okay. Our players included Chance Wooten, Caleb McDowell, Max Meltzer, Tyler Hudak, and Julian Arbaugh, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.